So this video, I'm going to be referencing some notes that I thought, because I think this is an important topic to bring up, especially with some of the stuff that I'm seeing. Because I got an email from a viewer who wanted to remain anonymous, and he's 15 years old, and he asked why he's a failure and a bad photographer, and that's what an art group and some of his friends tell him. And this is kind of reacting to that. And my main thing is that there really are no bad photographers. There are not bad photographers. It's really just people who need to learn a little bit more, just aren't educated enough. And it's just kind of the trolley hate stuff that goes on the internet that needs to stop, like, ASAP. And the reason I say that is because there is a big difference between ignorance and constructive criticism. Ignorance is that trolley crap that we see all the time, saying that this, photographer's crap or his work's crap and all that kind of stuff that you block and you look over anyway. But the constructive criticism is what a lot of people want and need, so that way they can improve. When they give their settings and they ask, like, how can I improve this image? Useful comments really, really help. But telling someone that they're horrible, they're a bad photographer, that they should never shoot again is the crap that really needs to leave this niche. And we need to police that a little bit better. And the main point being, art isn't really defined as good or bad. It's all about your interpretation and your interpersonal self. If you take something and you really enjoy it, maybe the f-stop was wrong, maybe it's a little bit blurry, maybe you wanted it to be a little bit blurry. It's all comes down to yourself. We shoot the stuff for ourselves anyway. You should not be shooting stuff for other people, because why are you trying to satisfy other people? Satisfy yourself, satisfy your art. I do a lot of little long exposure stuff that I wish I could do more, and I know it's not the most popular thing out there, but I don't care. I like the way it looks for me, and that's all that matters in the end, is if you're shooting for yourself. Now, there are definitely ways that a lot of us can improve, and there's still things I could definitely improve on as well, and you just keep learning, you keep going out about that, you keep going out there, day in and day out, keep taking the shots, walking around, see if you can capture exactly what you're trying to envision. But can your art, can your photos and stuff have, flaws or and everything? Of course it can, and that's what makes the educational point the main thing here. It's not about being a bad photographer, it's learning about maybe why your photos are flawed. It just takes some actual tips and education to fix those little things, and that way you could step up your game a little bit. You're kind of happy with something, but you're like, how can I take this to the next level to be really happy? That's the educational aspect that you need to look at, and to make you not that bad photographer. And really the main point is, especially to, who sent this email once again, to Anonymous, you could be doing everything right. And you showed me some of your work, and it's actually pretty decent. And I gave you some constructive criticism as well. But all be all, you could be doing everything right. There's still going to be someone there, some schmucks, to tear you down because they hate themselves. There's something going wrong with their lives. And you see that garbage here on YouTube and Instagram and everything like that, and it's a lot of jealous people. And just know that they're just a select little few of the percentage, while a lot of others may see that you're actually doing things right. And you concentrate more on that. Look at the constructive criticism with a keen eye. There's some garbage, that isn't really constructive that they say they are. Take that into consideration and see what you can implement for yourself that make you, elevate your game to that next level. So all in all, you're not a bad photographer. You're still just learning. And that's what a lot of us are. There really isn't anyone masters of photography out there. There are a certain select few, but even some of the masters didn't necessarily get everything right, and they master a certain niche. They didn't master every different type of photography that goes on. But you learn from your bad photos. You learn the flaws and everything that you need to change. Maybe it's your composition, maybe it's the way you're telling a story, maybe black and white instead of color to help get your point around. There's a lot of little things that you can tweak to make sure you get the photo that you want. And I still take bad photos. A lot of us still take very bad photos, and they don't come out the way that you want. Now, be it, they could be bad because maybe the setting was wrong, or the lighting wasn't right. You thought you may have something, but it just didn't come out as you want. But then you get those few keepers out of those long string of bad shots that you got, and it's totally worth it in the end. So that being said, stop looking at yourself as being a bad photographer. Look at it as you're just still learning more. I know that's kind of a cop-out to say no one's bad or anything, or it's, too inspirational or whatever, but it's absolutely true. No one's a horrible or a bad photographer. They're still learning. Now, there are the flawed photos, but that's what you get from someone who is still trying to learn and actively trying to make themselves better to get the good shots and make themselves a good photographer. So that's really what I wanted to end that off, and I felt that was an important video to make, because I wanted to speak to someone who's young, who's probably watching this video, very down on themselves because they're hearing a lot of crap in their lives. I think that you can just stop listening to that. Stop listening to that. Keep doing what you're trying to do. Reaching out is a huge thing that you've done, and you can keep continuing to reach out to keep getting feedback. I don't mind helping out people and, you know, doing so. And there's nothing wrong with trying to reach out to someone to get someone's thoughts on that. And it's tough to ask friends or family because a lot of the times they either really don't look at it or they're a little too nice. But that's the thing. Then you go on the internet and then they start to, you know, crap on your photos without really looking at it or really trying to be helpful. So there's a balance you have to find somewhere. It's not easy, but there are certain little groups out there that you could find and go help and just keep looking around. But that being said, you're not a bad photographer. You're still learning. And that negative connotation is one thing that really needs to stop in this niche right now.